The old couple's basement actually hid a magical portal that could lead directly to a room in outer space, although they didn't know who built this thing for decades. The two often secretly snuck here to enjoy the shocking, beautiful scenery of the vast universe. Originally thought this secret would always be kept, but this day when Ellie was stargazing there, alone, suddenly heard a weak cry for help. She quickly turned around to look. There was actually a strange man lying on the room floor covered in blood and looked seriously injured. Then passed out. Ellie was startled, quickly brought this man home, called Jess to take care of him. Together to figure out this guy's identity, the two searched through his pockets. There were no ID documents inside, only a metal plate of unknown material and 5 gold coins. These things weren't something ordinary people could own, even stranger. After Jess's examination, he found the man had no wounds on his body. This meant the blood belonged to someone else. Jess suspected this guy might be a criminal, wanted to turn him over to police, but Ellie firmly opposed. She felt this man might come from outer space. Jess directly denied Ellie's guess because the man wasn't wearing a spacesuit. It couldn't possibly survive on an airless alien planet. The two began arguing endlessly about whether to keep this man. Just when they were arguing intensely, the man woke up. Ellie quickly asked him where he came from, but this man, who called himself Jude, said he couldn't remember anything. Ellie immediately decided to take in Jude until he recovered his memory. Jess felt Jude's amnesia was fake, but couldn't argue with Ellie, could only agree on the surface. Secretly investigate Jude's true identity. Jess first focused on those gold coins. He went to the local pawn shop, felt the knowledgeable people here would definitely recognize the coin's origin. But what Jess didn't expect, the moment the clerk saw the gold coins, his face changed dramatically. Turns out these gold coins were 18th century Spanish doubloons, extremely rare in existence. Jude's identity instantly became even more mysterious. Jess returned home with a heavy heart, was thinking about how to tell Ellie about this, but discovered there was actually blood on his razor in the cabinet. Neither he nor Ellie were injured. Obviously, could only be Jude's doing. Jess quietly put the razor back in place, turned on the faucet, wanting to wash off the blood on his hands. Unexpectedly, there were some blue glowing fragments in the sink. Before he could observe carefully, the fragments were washed into the drain by the water flow. Jess felt very uneasy. Instinct told him Jude would bring danger to the family, so he quickly found Ellie, told her everything he discovered, hoped to immediately kick Jude out. Ellie began to waver, because after taking care of him these days, she also saw that Jude didn't seem to really have amnesia. While Jude was out, Ellie secretly snuck into his room. In the cabinet where Jude kept things, Ellie found a glass jar. The jar contained a mysterious light ball. Out of curiosity, she took out the light ball, held it in her hands. The light ball began vibrating, seemed to contain enormous energy inside. Ellie was a bit scared, quickly placed the light ball on the coffee table, but what she didn't expect, the next second the entire coffee table actually disappeared into thin air. Everything else fell to the ground. Ellie was completely shocked. Then she finally decided to have a showdown with Jude, facing Ellie's questioning, again thinking of Ellie's meticulous care these days. Jude finally stopped hiding the truth. Turns out the metal chamber that could transport wasn't the only one in Ellie's house. There were many such portals in the world. They all belonged to a mysterious organization. Jude was someone who escaped from this organization. That light ball was the energy source for Ellie's metal chamber. He took it